What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Hex Futures. Haven't done a live stream in a while. I don't even know how long. I think I joined Dirage a few times. Let's see. I'm doing a little bit of detoxing lately, so therefore I'm a little pissy. So please excuse me. I'm gonna try to stay away from. Let's see. So please excuse me. All right, I got that going. Audio's good. Everything's great. Let's see. Gum out of mouth. I'm gonna pass on lighting the green candle because I've got a little nub of a candle, but I'm not gonna use it right now. Instead, I got the hat hanging on it. This is a hat for the Texas group. You see that logo? This logo was created before Texan Token was created. I put a little bit of design in it. It's for the Texas group. T.me/Hex Texas. So here on this channel, we are all about Hex. And lately I have been talking a little bit about a reality TV show on Pulse Chain that I'm trying to coordinate. And so the official name for that is Noob Decentral. So there's a Twitter handle right now. There's not yet a .com populated, but the .com has been bought. So Twitter, it's the @handle Noob Decentral. Why is it named that? Because it's relevant to cryptocurrency and everything that's going on in crypto. And we're going to interact on Pulse Chain to get Pulse Chain some exposure. But back over to Hex. I'm doing this live stream right now because I post on meetup.com. I'm an organizer on meetup.com paying like $6 to $7, maybe $8 a month in order to be an organizer to hold the space there on that website. And so the meetup is typically like 40 minutes, 49 minutes ago. I apologize, people. I'm going to send you this video into your inbox, your email, if you're subscribed to organizer emails. The Hex token was created by Richard Hart, and you can find his website, richardhart.com. That is his screen name, and everybody online has a screen name, you know, and it's almost like being a character in Hollywood, changing your name to be more appealing, or a musician, right? So in some ways, like, people want to keep themselves anonymous, because what if it is that they hit it big in some way and now they become a target for folks who want to rob them? It's called doxing. Well, doxing is sharing information about other people. So the Hex token, why is it awesome? Because you can earn more of it while you hold it. And to earn more of it while you hold it, you have to stake it. And when you stake it, you have to say that you want to stake it for a certain amount of days. Well, if you falter that, if you want to end your stake early for whatever reason, then you will be penalized. And that is a good thing, because that allows everybody in the system to have a forward understanding of what's going to happen in the future. Well, this person, if this large staker, if they fail to follow through with this stake, then they could lose a lot. So it's keeping people honest. And that's why we've called Hex the Truth Engine. The Truth Engine Crypto. And the reason why I adore Hex so much is because back when I first got into crypto, I wanted to make interest by holding crypto in some way. And at the time, there were some schemes to lend your Bitcoin somewhere, and they would pay you a percentage. But some of those absolutely fell through. And when it is that like fell through, as in like they took your money and disappeared. And if it is that you send your Bitcoin somewhere, then it's no longer in your control. And in the early days, there was no recourse. There was no action to make those people pay up and give it back to you. You know, folks on the other side of the world. So that's why I like it so much. And it also has a leader who I mentioned, Richard. And since its creation, he's launched his own blockchain, which is a fork of Ethereum. So it works quite similar to Ethereum. And now it's a whole new playground for folks of all different coin status, stature, whatever. And also, it was a huge airdrop, the creation of this Pulse chain, because anybody who had value over on the Ethereum blockchain now has value. Let's see, a percentage in US dollars compared to what they had over there on Ethereum. So what I like to tell people is if you had some wrapped Bitcoin over there on Ethereum back in May of last year, 2024, then wait, was it 2024? No, it was 2023, right? May of 2023. If you had anything over on Ethereum, then you got copied coins over to Pulse Chain, and they might be a value, which is like 2% to 5%. No, not 5%, but maybe 1%, 2% of what you had over there on Ethereum. And so you've got free money over here on the Pulse chain. And the way that you could acquire those and get your hands on it and start moving the stuff around playing over here on Pulse chain is by changing your network settings. So go to pulsechain.com in order to acquire the network settings and do a switcheroo in your wallet, and they'll populate. You'll see it. So yeah, I'm over here in the Austin area. I'm just north of Austin, and I'm north of Austin because this is my hometown. So I came back here in 2012 after quitting corporate world, and at that time I wasn't involved in crypto. Crypto meant something else. And my libertarian views continued, and at the time I had some gold and silver, and then I ended up taking a chance with this hex stuff, and I cashed in that silver. I kept the gold, but that cash from the silver went into hex, and hex has been good to me. We've been going through some rocky times, if you will, because the price chart hasn't been just up and to the right. And I would say that it has to do with all sorts of things, with the bull and bear markets of crypto, the SEC, the government entities not being clear with the people, the new cryptos coming into the space, the amount of deluge, I don't know, that's been going on with social society within the United States. Like the last president that was in power claims that all white males were terrorists. You know what I mean? So over here in crypto world, you will find with that anonymous bit that people like, you know, they when you stay anonymous, you allow for so many things like bad behavior, and it's something that really annoys me. because here I am speaking the truth of like I'm a dude on the internet. I'm trying to do the right thing, never give bad advice. But folks like to trick other people. They like to come out here and be somebody that they're not, reinvent themselves. And so there's a lot of scum that they're bad people in the first place in their actual life, and then they come on the internet and put on this persona that they're somebody that they're not, and it doesn't last very long. They can't keep it up forever. So and sometimes they'll keep everybody at arm's length instead of meeting people in the real world. Like real world, I mean in the physical flesh. They'll keep people at a distance. They'll keep people wondering. They might have a good understanding of the play area, the playscape, and they'll delete their account, and then they'll come back as a new person, and then they'll get right to the chase of doing the same thing in order to get the money. Because what is it that keeps us all around? The dollar signs. And that's what makes people attached to all these ideals, is like this greed that's amongst us. I never let's see. I'm a person who really thinks about the architecture of a coin and a reasoning to be a part of something. And I don't like to talk about like the fluffy areas or the dark areas. So whenever I meet new people in crypto, often I find them starting to talk about like how much money they've made, and immediately that is a red flag, because they're trying to get you jealous and saying like, oh, well, I could do what this person's saying. I could level up with them, right? They're not intimidating to me. So yeah, I want to get in on what they're saying, and it's really annoying. So I'm not calling for more regulation. Instead, I want more people to come into crypto so that we can sit there and laugh at the losers who continue to populate in the space, and they don't fix their own lives, so they just continue to be sores. So let's see. Trump, Mr. Trump. This guy's our president again. And so he was sworn in yesterday, and he did a lot of executive orders yesterday. I think it was like 78, which great. Awesome. That's cool. But this same week, he and his kids, or maybe it was just his kids, launched coins on Solana, which is a blockchain. They launched some coins and they called them meme coins. And meme coins have been like this. They have a little bit of culture to them. There's a pinpointed reason why a meme coin was birthed, or how a meme was birthed, right? But the Trump people calling their coins meme coins really sucks, in my opinion. And then for them to launch more than one is a really huge problem in my philosophy of coins and what's going to work. There's a guy who does a presentation, and he has this pyramid on his presentation, and he shows that like tons of coins are down here at the bottom with this philosophy, And as you rise up in the pyramid, the philosophies change. And up here at the top, there's no coins created with this philosophy, but down a little bit, there's cult coins. And that's where the hexagons and the people who follow Richard Hart basically are. We're kind of cultish. We have a philosophy, we stick by it, and we kind of throw shade, I guess, on other people's philosophies and coins, if you will. And by throwing shade, I guess what I want to say is we don't give light to other things unless they prove themselves. And we've had a lot of people come into our community and try to gain a following and then introduce something to us in order to steal some of our purchasing power. So we've seen it time and time again, because where do people go? They go to where the money is. So going down in this pyramid, down at the bottom is where some celebrity coins are. They're like the worst. So like a Jake Paul celebrity coin, or like if I'm for some reason I'm only thinking of the Tate brothers, if they created a celebrity coin where it's like a meme coin that has no functionality except for a unit existing that demands a price of some sort. But about halfway up, or a little bit above halfway, is where you'll find meme coins. And then above meme coins is the cult coins. So I just want to describe it. My goodness. Bitfinesse is in my comments writing a novel. If you want to read my screen, go for it. So he says here, the pie continues to grow. Indeed. And people will follow euphoria and where the price is going. Green candles are what get people's attention. There with the Trump coin, I believe the division was 80% was given to like the founding people, or people who were given the opportunity to buy before it even came out. And then 10% was provided for liquidity at exchanges. And then another 10% was available for sale. Meaning out there in the market, into people's hands. And so does it have a utility? No. It's just a unit out there. But the euphoria of being a part of the president's coin as he's going through the steps of taking back over the country and promising a free and prosperous world and prosperous business around the world, and especially in the United States, and cleaning up the United States. There's so much euphoria towards it. So it shot up. Like whenever I saw a tweet about it from Donald Trump Jr., it was maybe $25. Some people claim that they saw it at $3.50. And for you to see it at $3.50 and recognize what sort of situation we're all in, then why not buy 10 of them just because, right? But some people didn't even do that. And then it went up to, let's say, $65 and then came back down to $35 after the inauguration. And so it's a little bit above $35 right now, I believe. I just watched a stream from Hexologist. He's a guy who is kind of like a cheerleader inside of the Hex community. Props go to him. he's an awesome guy, and he stays in his lane as well. He stays positive, and he claims ignorance on a lot of things that are like drama. And so that's awesome. He said something like his his price predictions would be over $100 where the Trump coin is going. A lot of people were able to buy at very low prices, and then you also don't know what some of these initial holders um, are going to do with their coins. So you don't know if the price is going to go up from here or not. Some of these screenshots, like, I don't know if these people were faking it or not, but they had, 250,000 coins, and it's just like some flake out there on the internet that you probably don't want having that much of your coin. I'm not sure what the total supply was of the coin, because you got to think about that. You got to think about how many are available out there on the internet. And then also these 80% founders, where are these coins going? It seems as though they've been purchasing, some of the Trump folks have been purchasing 40 million of this blockchain's coins, 40 million of this other blockchain's coins. So they got like Tron, they got Ethereum, they got these other blockchains that aren't coming to my mind right now. Price is not any indication of quality, is what Bitfinesse is saying. Trump coin should be a good buy around $7 or less. Yeah, I would buy 10 coins just because of the hype. But then just being a person who buys crypto, I would get 10 coins. But whenever it is that they go and they create a Baron coin and an Eric coin and a Melania coin, that is a huge red flag for me. If you're just going to continue to create all these little things to divide up this purchasing power. And so I guess the reason why I'm talking about this, besides it being in the like a timestamp for what we're going through, and it being in the news and everybody in crypto needs to know about this, it's also a good way to point out learning scenario for creating more and more coins and dividing purchasing power instead of focusing and being straight on one coin. And so, like, I'm explaining this for the Pulse Chain blockchain, right? Because we've seen it. It's only been a year and a half that it's been out, and we've seen this fracturing. And then also, whenever Pulse Chain came out, there was a hex token on Ethereum, and whenever Pulse Chain came out, then there was a copy of that hex token on Ethereum over there on Pulse Chain. So now it's the Pulse Chain Pulse Chain hex token. And the division of our purchasing power inside of the idea of hex and the utility, the use of hex. Which one are you going to onboard people to? Which one are you going to acquire as much as you can for your long-term gain? So also, what I wanted to point out back on the Trump thing is that some people are tweeting out right now, Trump destroyed their meme coin, because Trump took the available liquidity from these other coins that people were playing around with, and they went and chased the green candles of Trump. So whenever the Trump coin came out and went up, it it skyrocketed. It skyrocketed so much that its evaluation, its market cap was in the billions within 2 days. So it did a hell of a job. That was one heck of a thing to be a part of. Supposedly it made 500 something millionaires instantly. But all of these people who are playing around in these other coins that went and chased those green candles, they made those other coins red candles for days. If you would have seen my Twitter feed when that stuff came out, then you would see room after room. They call them spaces on Twitter, where people get together and share mics and listen. They like it's a room where you talk about a subject that is in the title that entices people. One person hosts, up to two people co-host, and up to 12 mics total, including those folks. And then everybody else is a listener that needs to request a mic. So this is how spaces work on Twitter. And I keep calling X Twitter because I'm a part of the Twitter generation. So if you would have seen my feed, it was one after another of these Twitter spaces being called Trump token. We're talking about Trump token, Trump token, Trump. No, it just on and on and on. And now it's Trump and Melania token. I think that's about all I have to say about that. Biffines says, I keep hearing it's not Trump behind coins, it's David Sachs. Yeah. Y'all be careful out there. Because once it is that you buy Trump token with whatever other token, you've lost that other token. You know, your purchasing power can leave you quickly. And it's a learning process. I think actually Bitfinesse, I saw one of your comments on some of these other streams, and I think it was you who said getting burnt in crypto is a learning experience, or losing money in crypto, that's the price of your education, right? Crypto is an interesting game. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm all wrapped up because I just came in from outside. It snowed in Texas and Louisiana today, and I think it kind of just like sleeted and ice fell on the ground, or ice formulated on the ground around here. I saw salt all over the place. It's one of those times that we just hang around, wait for it to pass. Make sure that you're not busting your pipes outside. Over here in Texas, we don't do much for freezing weather because we only have it once a week, or once 1 week a year. We're pretty fucking ignorant towards it. Excuse my language. We're ignorant towards clothes. We're ignorant towards driving in snow and ice. Not until I got out of college did I even acquire anything wool. It was all cotton. Yeah, guys, I think that's I really beat the crap out of that subject. So if you want to get a hold of me, down in the description, there is my name, and then also right here on the screen, I go by Eco Builder. And this other thing here is mailhex.xyz. It's a website that I created in order to connect you people with another Twitter handle that I have that's mail_hex. And so I've been sending out marketing material to folks inside the Hex community for them to rise to the occasion and pass stuff out and become basically a face of a crypto, right? To up our game of being people who talk to folks about cryptocurrency. Because like I said earlier, there's so many shady people, and there's so many people who haven't built themselves appropriately, let's say. And then so they're just spazzy. They just come in and just say whatever's on the top of their mind, whether they're dissing you or, they just, everybody has their own ideas of what's going on, and everybody thinks that their reactions to things are immediately going to be accepted by other folks. And instead, we need to have this long conversation of understanding where people are in their lives and appealing to folks. Give people what it is that they want. You're already involved. You're already invested. But these other folks, they want to know why it is going to better their lives. So the marketing material, like cards and stickers, are meant to introduce and fill in the rest of the words, and to follow people back to their house. Give them a card, it stays in their pocket, then they get back home and they start start stripping down and find the card. Oh yeah, this is a memory marker. And then maybe it's a magnet, or maybe it finds itself on the refrigerator's door. Then that's a prize. That was an exceptional job that you did. You got into somebody's head day after day until they actually do something about it. How are the postcards doing? They're doing great. However, lately, our contest was about writing letters. And so then they're at the hexpostcards.com group, Hex Postcards on Twitter. We did a contest about writing letters, and we got all of these submissions. Mrs. Hexakin was the winner of that. And so I think she won like $600. I'm pretty sure. I think the winners were like 600, 300, and 200. I'm not sure who the second and third placers were, but the first placer was the one that we decided to send out. And so then the next tweet that we did was, hey, we need like $13,000 we're raising to send out 10,000 of these letters. So 2 very nice donors and supplied us those funds. And so that's what we've been combing out inside the Hex Postcards group is like these envelopes, these letters that fit inside of envelopes. What do the envelopes look like? Are we going to be able to make them all black with the Hex and Pulse X and Pulse Chain logo on the outside of them? Are we going to have it to where, like Miss Hexakin's design, these letters are all black with a few little color items on it? And I think that's what we've come to. I think we've been able to successfully do that. So I'm pretty interested to see how this comes out, and how see the response, the feedback from folks through the internet. And I'm not really sure which zip codes we're sending them to. So I should probably look that up or ask the group. Over there on that group, I'm one of the leaders. We've got HexFan Network Victor over in Houston, and Togosh over here in Texas as well. And then Philip Banks as well in that group as the leaders. And then we've got tons of volunteers and people giving us feedback, giving us their marketing advice, and supplying us designs to go from and stuff. And so we're just an accumulation of talents over there. And that, in my opinion, is what Hex is all about. Decide what blockchain things you want to be a part of with your financial life, and then go and pay attention to your passion and build yourself up. So if I was a woodworker, I'd spend all my time woodworking out in the shop and have it to where my investments work for me. That's what I'm getting at. But me personally, I'm an architect, so I'm constantly thinking of interacting with built structures and how humans interact with those and societies, movements, and stuff like that. That's what I pay attention to, or that's where my interest is, let's say. All the way down to the little things, the little tinkerings. And that's why I offer myself to Hex Postcard stuff, because I do have a background with a little bit of Photoshop stuff, so I can do things like that. And so, yeah, if you guys have these sorts of ideas, then come on in, t.me/Hex postcards. And what else is going on? So tomorrow I'm going to be on a live stream as a guest with these guys, King Pooey. I don't know much about them. I don't really know what coins they back and what their philosophy is. It looks like they have talent and energy, and that they're making a name for themselves inside of Pulse Chain. And I think they've done a little bit over on Ethereum as well. The other week, I took the opportunity to jump into one of their live streams because I saw that Vets in Crypto was on there. So I just, like, they call it the shit show, I think. Excuse me for saying that. To where, like, it's kind of like an open mic. You can just show up. So I took the opportunity to do that in order to introduce to more eyes this reality TV show idea. And so they've asked me back to talk about this stuff more. And so, like, whenever they asked me for like some videos or pictures about myself, I gave them stuff that was from Hexagon meetups. It was cards that I created for the Hex community and Hex postcard stuff, because that's like the stuff that I've stuck around with and curated the culture in. But I also created the DeFi puzzle.xyz. That's where 1 million hex is sitting out in a wallet, and then there's an image on that website, which is the puzzle. So the image conveys 12 seed words that open that wallet in order for you to acquire the 1 million hex on that wallet and transfer it out. And there's enough pulse inside that wallet in order for you to safely do that. And then other people have taken the opportunity to donate their coin that they want your eyes to see into that wallet. So Super Staker, I believe, is one of the guys who has donated like $100 or $150 to that wallet worth of coin. So they're right up there in second place in the wallet. And so that's an advertisement to anybody who goes and checks the contents of the wallet. If you're new to crypto, you're able to check the contents of wallets in many ways. With multiple websites will allow you to check the contents of wallets that are not yours. So just like I was talking about the internet wanting, like people on Twitter wanting to stay anonymous, typically people want to stay anonymous with their holdings of crypto. So you don't want to attach yourself to a wallet. If it is that you've got like a donation wallet, you will probably want to not send any of your donated funds over to your main cold storage wallets, like the places that you really retire your crypto for long term. Unless it is that you have just so many wallets that it's just confusing to follow all of them. And so like somebody would assume that that person couldn't possibly be all those people. And then softwares are becoming better and better. Like you can now buy, like, for a little bit of money, you can buy some software that allows you to see wallets and their connections to each other better. And then I just dropped a jargon word that was cold storage. What is cold storage? The idea is that that's a wallet that you never connect to the internet, the hot internet, right? So you may have a hot wallet and then a cold wallet. So the cold wallet would be the long-term storage one. I think I've rambled enough. How long have I gone? 41 minutes. Okay. If you want to know more about Hex, we have a website, hex.com. Very easy. You can imagine that cost a pretty penny, hex.com. If you want to see what's going on in the Hex community, as far as, or actually the Hex system, just the math, you can go over to hexdailystats.com. And yeah, I'm just trying to give you more options out there in crypto. What do you want to be a part of? How do you like tokenomics? What appeals to you? And so over here in Hex Crypto, it's a passive earn. We acquire tokens, we stake the tokens, we get paid in more tokens, and there's set amounts of inflation, and then, as I told you, people who stake and don't follow through with those stakes get penalized. That's what keeps the system honest. So it's just like a CD, a certificate of deposit, a time deposit, except for it's on the blockchain and you can do it from anywhere in the world. So it's borderless certificate of deposit. It's nationless certificate of deposit. And that's the power of crypto, is that no one stops you from sending value to another person on the other side of the world. Like every once in a while, I get a little soft and I see like some African who's trying to drum up business for themselves inside of a chat, and I'm like, okay, well, how about you you come online with me? How about you do a live stream and tell us about the way that you live your life, what things are like in your city. And so then after that call's over, you know, they just spent an hour with me online, and they had to pay for their cell phone or their internet, and then the time as well. And so it's a joy to be able to do that sort of thing. The internet allows me to do that, and then I go and I pay them in cryptocurrency to say thank you. And it's agreed upon beforehand that I'd give them like $30 worth of crypto or something like that. And so boom, I'm able to send that off, and there is no oops, I made a mistake. Let me pull that back off of you. Or there's nobody saying like, oh, you can't send it to this person because they're over here. No, it's clean. So that's the power of crypto, if it is that you're new. And what makes it have any value? people's opinions, people wanting it, demand. Like anything else, demand. Now, finding yield in your crypto has proven treacherous. Hex was the first to nail trustless yield. Hex is legendary, says Bitfinesse. I am here for the tech, says Fast Abdul. And then so earlier, Bitfinesse asked me, how's the postcards going? And he might have been alluding to my recent advertisements where I kind of made a commercial and like I wanted other people to help me out with it. And if you could spread this word, I want people to help me out in spreading the idea of postcards and direct mail. And so like, if it is that you have a course, maybe you'd be interested in sending out postcards. And the price per postcard might average at like 33 cents. So you could visit the Hex Postcards website, hexpostcards.com/instructions are some helpful links so that you can figure out how much it would cost to send out, to print and to send. We've got a Hexakin we've got multiple people who can print, but it's the United States Postal Service that's going to send it out, or whatever mailing service you've got in your area of the world, right? We've found out in the group that things get a little bit tricky with all the different postal services around the world. So we're always looking for somebody who's in that area of the world to pick up the ball and do it themselves and do the fundraising and create a Telegram group and or a Twitter handle and go forward. So no donations that are given to the Hex Postcards group are used for other countries, except for us like playing around with Canada just a little bit, maybe like half a year ago. And I think there is some Germans in the German group who were interested in doing, like, they've actually picked up the ball and done some stuff, I think. But the reason why I talk about this is because there on hexpostcards.com/instructions, you'll see a link for Print for Less, I think is the name of the company. And they'll give you an idea of how much it would cost for both the printing and the delivery. And I believe it will be like, I'm just saying 33 cents. Like it's probably going to be a little bit more than that. Now, postcards themselves, if you print off enough of them, they could be down to 6 cents per, but then there's the cost of the postage, you know? And then so the idea is that like you could put anything on these postcards. You could really put an enticing statement or enticing colors. You could lead people directly to you or to a product that you want to sponsor. Maybe you get a kickback from that product. Maybe you have it to where that's your onboarding link, you know? Your I'm having a loss of words for it. Wow, it just keeps on coming. This word just keeps on being on the edge of my brain. let's say referral link. So, for example, Crypto Coffee has a $200 course. And I think if somebody signs up with your referral, you get $100. So that's an example. And so recently I created a commercial that has a woman's voice saying she's now a celebrity in her local area. Thanks so much for Hex Postcards sponsoring her, which I am willing to do, like to certain individuals that I already know. I'm interested in putting their face on a postcard plus a Google phone number and a Google email address and their screen name on there for contact stuff, and telling folks that if they call this number and want to talk to this person, that person's hourly charge is $200. And whenever we're talking about this stuff of like, this is brand new, it opens a portion of your world up, that's a good value to be able to back and forth on the phone in live time with these people, get them on their computer, have it to where they go through the steps of paying you in crypto $200 worth of value while it is that you're on the phone. And now they've experienced crypto. They understand how to hold it. They understand what wallets are. They understand what blockchains are. They understand how to acquire it with US dollars. And they understand how to send it and how it's non-refundable. So then if they didn't want to go through that of contacting this person that's on the postcard, they might instead take the route of what was offered on the postcard also as a QR code that says self-propelled learning. Check it out. If you don't want to, like, we've told you that it's worth $200. We gave you the value statement of $200 per hour talking on the phone with this person. So if you're really interested in learning, you might just go ahead and scan this QR code and start learning on your own. And I think the video that I was referencing with that QR code was one of my previous videos introducing Richard Heart to the people in the Austin area. It was a pretty good one. I shared screen and moved around throughout Richard Heart content. Definitely I talked about hexsearch.io, which is a great place to enter in some keywords for your inquiries. Like if you wanted to know about market cap or liquidity or pairs or God, everything just escapes your mind whenever you're on this screen, I mentioned cold wallets earlier, cold storage. You could just type that into the search bar, and then every time Richard ever said it inside of a video, it would pop up. It would hyperlink that and timestamp it to a YouTube video readily available, but it searches for you. That's hexsearch.io. A lot of people, surprisingly, don't even know that website exists because they got that tunnel vision. So yeah, back to, I continue to go on these tangents in order to explain everything, but my commercial was kind of like a pitch to an idea for this idea that I have where everybody in Texas, I'm sorry, I've broken down the regions of Texas based on like the size of the region. So we have no Hexicans that I know of in the Big Bend, national park area, which is over there in West Texas, south of El Paso. And we've only got like 2 people in the El Paso area, which is way West Texas. And then up in the Panhandle, the northwest area, we've got like another 2 over there. But over here, closer to the interstate running north and south called I-35, there's in the north area we've got Dallas. In the mid area, Central Texas area, we've got Austin area. And then south of that, we've got San Antonio area. And then out east, we've got Houston. And so I've broken up all of those regions. And there's some outspoken Hexicans on Twitter and inside the Telegram groups from those areas. And I can basically identify that like one person per region of these more populated areas, because like in the Austin area, there's probably 23. And over in Houston, there's probably close to 20 Hexicans. So out of those guys, who would be good representatives? And then let's put their face and their made up contact information, because this is just Google numbers, Google stuff. Put those on the postcard and send them out with the same plan that I just talked about, and see how many responses they get, and see if it self-drives. Let's see if it's sustainable. Like what if I started out for $1,200, sending it to 4,000 people, let's just say, and then 2% retention out of 4,000 people, that's 80 calls. Maybe you'll get on the line with actually 10 of them that want to pay you. Well, I say 80 calls, but let's say it's 10 calls out of 80 people that follow through with the postcard in some way. So now you've got $2,000, 10 calls for an hour times $200. You've got $2,000 there. Would you be interested in self-propelling this? Would you see, this is an issue that we're dealing with in the postcards group, is we send out postcards telling people about Hex Token, and who is it that we point to? Do we point to richardhart.com? Do we point to hex.com and give nobody instructions on what to do? They just look at hex.com and then that's it. But with actually having a representative, then we get some feedback on the mailers. We get some feedback from the people that we've gotten in touch with, and we also get some feedback on what works, like what they're interested in. I had something else there. We get feedback on how to do it better. How many folks were enticed by the advertisement. Because we also want to respect their privacy as well. If they want to stay anonymous, like a lot of people do in crypto. So the tracking stuff doesn't go over very well in the postcards group. But yeah, that was my idea. And the little commercial about it. And it was funny. I sent one of the guys that I think does really good videos inside of our community. I sent him an audio that was 5 minutes long of this female talking about how she got sponsored by the postcards group and that everything was cool. This is how it worked. This is the positives of it. Positives on both, or actually it's a win-win-win situation, because Hex Postcards Group gains data. The person who's receiving the phone calls, who is the representative, they're able to make connections in their local area and acquire some funds. And then the person who is calling them, who received the postcard in the first place, that person had interest in crypto, but couldn't trust anybody locally, and didn't know where to ask either, because it has to do with money. So, like a lot of folks, the more they hear about crypto, the more questions they're going to have, and they're going to be ready to unload those questions. Like whenever I sit at a countertop cafe and I talk to the guy next to me, I tell him I'm into crypto, and they're like, I don't know how this stuff works. I don't understand what gives it any value. I tell them, you can send money across the world. Those people accept it, are able to exchange it for something that's valuable local to them. And there's nobody to get in between you and sending that to that person. That's what makes it valuable. And maybe the tokenomics have it to where there's limited supply, so it's in demand. So there's a lot of people out there who have crypto questions, who don't know who to ask. But if they got this postcard that had a friendly face on it, a professional look to it, professional look to the person obviously has some professional thoughts, because they made a postcard and spent money to send to create these postcards and send them around. So they're a trustworthy person. And then your interaction with these people is straight up, let's buy some crypto and you send that crypto to me. And I'm not going to have you put an extra zero on the end of it. Instead, we could try a trial transaction. Go ahead and spend $30 of US dollars in crypto and send that. Let's see how that all works, so that you know that you're not being extra charged or being duped out of some money. Heck, you could send it to me tomorrow instead of today. So this guy in our community, I wanted him to put his ideas into a commercial to influence people to be a part of the Postcards Group and what's going on with this direct mail stuff, like the sexiness, if you will, of a design being sent to people's mailboxes, and them reading it and being involved and seeing that, feeling, what is it? Just understanding that there's such a movement out there for this stuff. So I shared with him this 5-minute video, audio, which was an AI girl. This script that I had read out, I had written out and combed multiple times. Well, he contacted me back and said, which postcard did you send out? Which postcard did she send out? Thinking that she was real. He also said, I feel like I should do postcards here locally. Well, that's exactly the point of, like, now you see the light, now you see the light. Now you know why it is that, like, the influence that we're trying to get across to people who are used to folks who are flakes anonymously on the internet, just saying spasmodically whatever it is that pops in their mind. So, as I said when I first started this video, I'm doing a little bit of detoxing and I'm a little bit negative, and I apologize for that. But if you are in the Austin area, I'm just north of you in Georgetown, and we have a beautiful town square over here, and you're welcome to get in touch with me, and I will buy you lunch and we can talk about crypto related things, all you would like, because this is what I do with my life lately. Half the time I spend in architecture, half the time I spend in crypto. All right. Y'all take care. Talk to you later.